Hey everyone, I'm your host, owner, and creator of The Mix. Welcome to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for tuning in to my channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Before I continue with my commentary and discussion on this topic, yes, the saga continues with MORANT, and a couple people have weighed in on it. But I need for you all to listen to this entire video from beginning to end. Yes, and I would greatly appreciate if you could just like this video. Let's get my likes up. My likes are not matching my views. My views are not matching my likes. So let's get it up, 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 up. Okay, and now that we got that out the way, you can also, if you're interested in donating to the mix for content enhancement creation, you can go ahead and zelle your girl at tplegal30@gmail.com. Or you can cash at me at capital $THEMIXX30. But again, like this video, share this video. Let's get the discussion going in the comment section. I need to know your thoughts on this because everything seems to be twisting. Like people are coming back and saying, let me run this back. Let me run this back. I think I'm changing my tune a little bit. So as you can see, this is the NBA, is their hypocrisy with the NBA. Let me play this clip from Cam Newton. Everyone knows, you should know who Cam Newton is. Google him, the great Cam Newton. So he's also on YouTube, but I just want to share a clip from him and then I'll come back with my opinion.
And shut up and listen. Because this is not for you to try to put your life and what you would do if you ain't never been into that situation. And when I see Ja, I'm seeing a guy that I don't blame him. Man, I'm keeping it up. I blame the homeboy, I blame the dad, girlfriend, any partner that's around at any given point in time. Bro, you check that, check him and say, listen, dog, what are you doing? And let's just be even more honest. Whatever Ja Morant decides to do outside of basketball, that's his life. And he's free to do whatever he wants to do. Let's be completely honest. So if he wants to go to any type of establishment, whether it's a strip club, whether it's a fine dining restaurant, whether it's out the country, bruh, do it. But this is my issue. His outlet is being around people. His outlet may be listening to music. His outlet may be, you know what I'm saying, just having a good time. Man, y'all don't know what it's like. Or for those who do know what it's like to have the pressure for 5, 6, really 7 months out of a year, and the time that you do get to let your hair.
Okay, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? That's just a snippet of Cam's segment on his YouTube channel about, his perspective in terms of Ja Morant. He's basically holding his family and Ja's circle / friends, I guess, accountable. Not so much just. It seems like, in my opinion, Cam Newton is basically like protect the investment. Protect. You all are the beneficiary. You have to look at the entire video as well. You all, or listen to his entire video, perspective on Ja Morant in the situation. You all are the beneficiary of Ja's estate. Ja is an estate. Ja is the wealth. So you have to protect your wealth. Protect that at all costs, even if it's checking him, even if it's going against the grain. Cam, I think, even shared a story where he, I think, had his brother or somebody, he got into it with them when he was playing football or whatever. But I think he wanted to do something. They basically checked him like, no, that's not what we're doing. So long story short, I mean, it worked out in his best interest because those who were around him held him accountable, even if they had arguments and everything, even if, he was mad at them or probably didn't talk to them for probably a few days or whatever, but it kept him out of trouble. It kept him out, under the radar. It kept Cam in certain areas. Things could have been worse in certain situations and scenarios. So I like Cam's perspective, and this is what I actually was also leaning towards at first initially, and not taking away, again, accountability for Ja Morant or whatever. But Steven Jackson, he's changed his tune. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip from Steven Jackson. And you can catch him on IG and all of that stuff too. But I know Steven Jackson, he went to bat from the first incident that happened a couple months ago with Ja and the strip club and a gentleman's club and firearm, women, all of that. But that's who all of them do it. So, but the issue was the firearm, brandishing a firearm or whatever. And I'm sure it happens a lot. It was just on video. But so Steven Jackson actually was going to bat for him initially. So did I. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, blah, blah. He's young. He got a million. He's living a rock star life, and he's 23. And I'm not giving excuses, but everybody, we were 23 once. And that's what I was stating too in one of my earlier videos about Ja. We were 23 once. Come on now. Come on. People want to sit here and act like broke people was turning up at 23. You can just imagine the things that were going on, especially because I'm a woman of a different age. And back then, just things was just going on. We didn't have the social media. We didn't have all of that. We wasn't really recording. We had the camcorders or whatever. Those were at the big, huge events and stuff like that. And if you had a camcorder, you was used to shit. You was that. But let me go ahead and share this clip with you guys, this audio of Steven Jackson, and then I'll come back with my reaction and commentary.
Nephew, my nephew want to be just like him. Ja called him, showed him some love. I want him to be like Ja, but I don't want my little nephew to be holding guns and thinking holding guns is cool. So Ja deserves all the punishment he's going to get, all that. He has to be held accountable. But we have to make it make sense. ESPN, and it was a couple games where the Memphis Grizzlies was coming out and they playing these same songs, making the gun signs to the camera and marching out, getting ready to go play that game, and it was all cool. The NBA, every event, you have these same rappers rapping these same lyrics about guns and shooting at all your events. Just make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. Yes, Ja needs to be held accountable. Holding guns and all that is not cool. I don't do it. I don't stand for it. I don't support it. But at the same time, make it make sense. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So what are your thoughts? Steven Jackson? I would say this much. I'm not going to say holding guns is not cool, because you do have a Second Amendment right to own a legal firearm. If you qualify to own a legal firearm, you have that right. So I'm not going to speak against that, but it's just, I guess, in the manner of how you do it. I'm a woman of a different age. To each his own. And I know people who are firearm owners, and I've seen what firearm owners, they are on social media, all different races, showing their firearms and stuff. That's just them. That's what they do. But is there some hypocrisy in it? Because what Steven Jackson was stating is that you have the NBA, they have these different rap artists come to those games. They have them rapping, they have them performing, coming out. They play the music, the bang bang, shoot 'em up music, all of that. And these rappers have controversial backgrounds or controversy surrounding them with their lives, in the studio, out of the studio, personal, professional. Some of them do, some of them don't. But you have the type of music with the firearm, the bang bang, the guns holding. So is it hypocritical of the NBA? You have some artists who come out there and they rap and they do the hand movement with the firearms and stuff. So I mean, is it hypocritical? Is it? Also, Steven Jackson stating too on, I think, IG Live about there is a NBA player. So is this hypocritical? Another NBA player, he's former, no longer in the league, but I believe he was posting firearms on Twitter like early, I think 2012 and I think in 2016. But let me go ahead, and his name, of course, you see it here, Chris Kaman. Let me go ahead and share my screen and share this article with you all. Chris Kaman, yes. Okay, here we go. Chris Kaman flexing the same G's used in school shootings. Pictures of Chris Kaman posing with guns spark Ja Morant double standards claim. And this article was posted on May 18th. Sportskeeda.com. The NBA is investigating Ja Morant's latest G-related video incident over the weekend. Morant is facing a lengthy suspension considering he's already served 8 games in March for the offense. However, it seems like there's a growing number of people who continues to defend Memphis Grizzlies superstar. One of them is former NBA player Steven Jackson, who I was just speaking about, and I played that clip, who posted an image of fellow ex-NBA player Chris Kaman holding G's when he was still active in the league. Jackson captioned the post, "It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Wrong is wrong, but hey, if you're 23, rich and black, you dead wrong." And this is former NBA All-Star Chris Kaman. Pics are from 2012, 2013, and 2016. He wasn't suspended a minute of a game. Wow. Okay, is there a double standard? Is there a double standard? Steven Jackson's take has divided social media with some questioning why the NBA didn't punish Chris Kaman back then. The pictures of Kaman holding the G's were taken in 2012, 2013, and 2016, one fan said. So I believe Steven Jackson is going the selective outrage route now, because at first he's still maintaining that Ja should be held accountable, blah, 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 blah. Again, I don't agree with Steven Jackson stating he doesn't want his nephew holding guns or whatever. But if your nephew, he becomes an adult and becomes a legal gun owner or have a right to carry, if that's what he chooses to do, then yeah, that's what he chooses to do. I think they're looking at, but this is a great point in terms of the manner in which he's doing it in. Steven Jackson does have some valid points here about the music that the NBA play, about the rappers who come out and rap and do the G sign with their fingers and stuff, and even some players do it to the camera and stuff. So, I mean, make it make sense. He has some valid points, and also with Chris Kaman not being suspended or banned from the NBA, although he's a former player, nothing was done to him in terms of consequence, reprimanded by the NBA for doing that online. But Chris did it in, I believe, the comfort of his own home. Looks like the pictures is showing that, or he's big on the Second Amendment, right to bear arms. A lot of people are, so you can't, and it's part of the Constitution, so you can't take that away from them. You just can't. So this is interesting. I'm totally interested in Adam Silver will rule on this, what would be the outcome, because these are some valid points. It really is. It's definitely some valid points. One does it in one manner, another one who's black does it in his way, his manner. So, wow, this is very interesting. You can go over to sportskeeda.com to read this entire article. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Do you think Steven Jackson has a point in terms of the hypocrisy in the NBA? It sort of aligns with JJ Redick, but JJ Redick was coming from a political perspective, in which JJ Redick did have some great points as well. There were no laws broken. And we have politicians who sent out, in the South, he said one politician sent out some type of NRA, some type of postcard telling people to go get their their G's, So, I mean, and this is coming from a politician. So, I just think from a cultural perspective, if from what I've heard, there's additional stuff going on behind the scene, possibly, and this is alleged, and possibly with Ja. So I think at this point, it's more concerning. Like, no one wants to see him hurt. Forget what the NBA is going to rule, all of that, and the hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy in laws every day when it comes to black and brown people when it comes to non-melanated people and Caucasian people or whatever. There is definitely a great hypocrisy. And I have some stories with my kids, the hypocrisy that I've seen or whatever I come across. So there is just, this is America. And is it right? Absolutely not. But that's how it is. That's how it is. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Again, in terms of Cam Newton, I see his perspective. I see his point, holding his family, his inner circle, Ja's inner circle accountable for not protecting the investment, not protecting the wealth, not protecting the bag. And even if it goes against Ja in the grain, it's like, hey, he might be mad at you, but he'll get over it. He'll thank you later on, even if it, so I don't know. So, but yeah, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? But that was what Cam Newton was stating. That was pretty much my position initially in terms of protecting like his parents. What are their thoughts if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, parenting? Because I'm a big believer parenting doesn't stop at 21, 22, 23. I'm forever a parent, even with my kids in their adult years. I am. Even if one of them doesn't want to talk, I'm still trying to parent them. I give them their space, but I'm coming back around, sticking my head up like, hey, big head, hey, son. But yeah, but what are your thoughts? Obviously, I think there's more behind the scenes going on in terms of Ja's family based off of additional information being reported, is being alleged, and just the dynamics of how they parent. So, and there's no rule books of parenting, and everybody's household is different, and some people grow up a certain way, the dynamics, and I'm not the one to judge. That's how it is. So, I mean, but be prepared for whatever outcome that may happen if you continue down a certain path that's probably questionable, that's probably not the best direction for none of them in terms of how they navigate situations or conflicts. If I can, I guess I can say that. But back to Steven Jackson, I agree with him in part. I don't have any problem with people with firearms. Do I like firearms? Absolutely not. But I have thought about getting my license and all of that. Just have and go through training and all of that. Just for protection. Not just to have, but for protection. And so I am a believer of the Second Amendment right as well. So although I don't own one, and salute to those who legally own one. So salute to you all. And I'm not against G's. I'm not. And like I said, I'm not even an owner of one. So yet. But yeah, so I don't agree with that take unless there was more to the context of it, because that was just a clip. And granted, kids are watching Ja. I think Ja does community work, all of that. But it's like, as a parent, you need to be your own kid's superhero as a parent or a guardian. And then as adults as a whole, even if the child doesn't have a parent or guardian around or someone consistently in their life, adults need to start being more transparent and honest with kids about, even at certain ages. 5 years old, 6 years old, 10 years old. You don't look up to these people. Are human beings. They are not God. They're imperfect. We're all imperfect people. So I think the image and all that, and kids looking up to Ja and the Michael Jordans and the LeBron James, some of them navigate their life differently. They just do. Michael Jordan's not perfect. LeBron James not perfect. Some things they probably do behind the scenes we never knew about. And hey, and that's their business, whatever they do privately. And some of them, like Ja, we seeing it because he's showing it to the world. So with that, I just feel that we need to be more transparent as adults with kids, period. Don't look to this celebrity, that celebrity, as because they're imperfect. This is their job, this is their career, but don't look to this politician, don't look to this entertainer, because they may have things go. You just never know. So that's my point on that. But yeah, I just don't want to see, like I stated, Ja to get into whatever type of horrible situation, because of the energy or the characters he may attract. So that's my main concern. again, if it's being alleged that there's more going on behind the scenes, and I think he may have inserted himself into something, which is like, dude, you hoop, you shouldn't even be inserting yourself in that. Just let that be. Okay, you have a right to own your firearms, all of that. Just like what Cam Newton was saying, you have that right, but it's a way you kind of do things. It's a way, and then everybody doesn't need to be privy to everything. Everyone doesn't need to be exposed to every single thing that you do. And then check the fanboys that surround you, your homies, your homegirls, whoever. They don't have to turn on their phone every time they're around you. But hey, that's how Ja's living his life. I mean, that's the dynamics that he's doing. So, but these different perspectives, a lot of it, especially from the Black community, from what I've been seeing, some of it has been attacking Ja and just calling him names and this and that. There's other reviews and perspectives. People are just giving him advice with love. Even Kwame Brown, although he did go off, sometimes you have to give that tough love, and I think in this instance it was warranted. Your thoughts? What are your thoughts, everybody? What are your thoughts? Like, share, subscribe to the mix. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. But yeah, these two perspectives, Cam Newton and Steven Jackson, was pretty interesting. Steven Jackson initially, he did he called Ja idiot or something like that, or moron, something like that. But then Steven Jackson has a point with the selective outrage. It is selective. I would just say, with the difference with Chris, the former NBA player who posted his firearm images online when he was in the league and was never suspended, and with Ja, it's the music, it's like two different age groups, two different times. So we got the Instagram going live, in his background, he's Black. Then you got Chris is a G owner as well, and he's posting on Twitter, but he doesn't have music playing in the background. Maybe he did have music playing in the background when he posted those pictures, but you didn't hear the music because those are still images. So I don't know. Is the NBA hypocritical? Are they hypocritical? Is the league hypocritical? But again, like, share, subscribe to the mix. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. The saga continues. I'm interested to know how Adam Silver will, I guess, rule on all of this. So I don't know, but I'm quite sure the player union, the NBA has a players union. I believe they're probably going to fight for Ja Morant. So the union might fight for him. They do have a union. So we shall see. But like, share, subscribe to the mix. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.